Hello and welcome to another Cans of Tarkir draft. We are waiting for it to start here. Be sure to check the actual article of which this video is part at puremtgo.com. Okay, so for our turn 1 here, I think we're gonna take a rare, a Rakshasa Death Dealer, which may push us into Sultai territory or more likely Abzan territory. Other than that, we have a Jeskai Elder that I like, Debilitating Injury, which is probably the second best card in the pack after the Death Dealer, and I'm not even sure if the Death Dealer is actually better than the Debilitating Injury. I'm just taking it because, you know, it's a rare and we don't always get to play with rares in limited, so I actually want to gauge the power level of this card. Other than that, there's the Snowhorn Rider, and that's about it. That's a bunch of cool cards. No lands, it's fair to note. Alright, let's take the Death Dealer then. Following that up, well, I think I'm following that up with a Mardu Horde Chief. That's because I really like Abzan, and I've been really keen of building black-white decks, warrior decks. Those are always great for me, and this is pretty much one of the best commons you can have for that deck, because it's a warrior that makes another warrior, meaning that, you know, your warrior tribal cards actually pump them both. Hopefully this thing makes it back. Don't like it enough to take it here, but I certainly would like to have it in my deck, especially if I end up being a warrior deck like I want to. Alright, speaking of warriors, this guy is great because the warrior deck wants to have a lot of early creatures, and this guy here, that's a good combination. Other than that, we have the Krumar, which is also a warrior, Bitter Revelation. And that's about it. Taking the Horde Maid though. Okay, wow. Now this is a pack. We have Mardu School Hunter, Rush of Battle, and we have a Sultai Scavenger. We have a land too, but since we first picked the Death Dealer, I'm not gonna jump into Mardu just yet. I think I'm gonna take the Rush of Battle because those have been going earlier and earlier, and it's one of the most important cards to make the deck tick, you know. I also really like the Skull Hunter as an early dude who also disrupts our opponent's plan a little, and Scavenger is definitely very good as a flyer. But yeah, I'm taking the Rush of Battle. I feel like the Rush is less replaceable than both those other cards there. Alright, now we're taking the land. There's this guy which is pretty good, and there's also this thing which I love. But like I said in my last article, usually when there's, you know, cards that are really good against the lands in the first pack, I'll take the land if I want the land. Outside of, you know, broken cards or very good cards, and both these cards here are good, but not, you know, broken good. This can get quite broken depending on the deck, but still feel better taking a land there. And here, alright, this is an interesting choice. Could take an Alpine Grizzly, which is gonna be nice if we have a bunch of ferocious cards. Could take a Unyielding Krumar, which is a warrior and a nice warrior at that. It's a fine card. This thing's a scout, and it's a fine card too, but I feel like it's worse than these other two. I'm actually not sure what I take here. I feel like it can get Krumars later, but on the other hand, I feel like it could still go Mardu. End up having to dismiss the Death Dealer, so I'm gonna take the white black card instead of the mono green one. Alright, not much here in this pack. We have an Act of Treason, which is great in the Warriors deck, but We don't know if we're ready yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a Defiant Strike, which is also a very good card, especially if you get a Seeker of the Way. Other than that, there's a Treasure Cruise, which is pretty good, but obviously not what we're looking for here. Alright, another hard choice here. We got a Mardu Hateblade, which is much better than it looks. And we get a Savage Punch. Mardu Hateblade is so good because it can attack unimpeded because of Death Touch, and this activates raid abilities, and also it's a warrior. But I think I'm just gonna take a Savage Punch. I cannot pass it here. It's a removal spell. It's one of my favorites, one of my favorite ones here. Here, gonna take a warrior in the form of Krumar Bondken, which is a morph card too, which is important in this format. Gotta have some morphs. Here, again, I have a couple of choices. We could take another Bondken, or a Highland Game, or an Awaken the Bear. And I actually like Highland Game here, I think. It's quite a good card. I mean, not excellent, but I don't feel like I'm gonna play two of these guys, and this is great against the more aggressive decks, like, you know, the Warriors deck. Alright, you raise Windstorm or Classedon. I think I'm gonna take a Windstorm, which is a fine card for the sideboard. We could take a Naturalize here, but I think I'm gonna take the Behemoth. Not sure if I'm gonna play it, but it's a morph guy. Alright, taking the black card. So we get a, you know, somewhat decent pack 1, not insane pack 1 by any means, but I feel like we may have the basis for an actually good deck here. We shall see. I love this, the art on this forest, by the way. Look like the Hanging Gardens or something. Maybe that's what they were going for. Alright, well, our rare is a Carol Lich Lord, which we could splash for, but we have a ridiculous uncommon here. That's Armament Core. I love that card. We have here another Rush of Battle, another Mardu Horde Chief, this guy, which is a warrior too. And that's pretty much it for our colors. We should be on the lookout for lands here, because we only got one land on our first pack. But yeah, here I'm definitely taking this thing. Ooh, Ghost Fire Blade, and people did not first pick it. I mean, what uncommon could they possibly have taken? This is just so insane. Yeah, definitely taking that. Alright, here I'm gonna take, I think, a Hateblade, since I don't already have one, and I would rather take a Hateblade here than an Alpine Grizzly or another Highland Game or Salt Road Patrol, and the land does not interest us, so take the early guys. This here is quite good, but not in my colors, so we could take a second Rush of Battle, or we could take a Skull Hunter. And well, I think that the Rush of Battle is certainly a better card overall, but the Skull Hunter is the kind of card that we want in the deck too. Cheap warriors, and I already have a Rush of Battle, so even though I think this is the better card, I think I'm gonna take a Skull Hunter here. Not sure if that's correct, but it's what my gut tells me right now. We need to have a critical mass of creatures in order to play a Skull Hunter. I mean the Rush of Battle. Here we got another pretty tough choice. Another Sultai Scavenger, Smite the Monstrous, Horde Chief, but I'm taking the land here. We really need a fine mana base in this format. I like having at least 4 dual lands in my colors. Alright, for this pack our options are Sag Watcher, Become Immense, and Woolly Loxodon. I'm gonna take the Loxodon because I really like it. It's generally when you unmorph it, it just outclasses everything else that's on board at the time, so I really like it. Become Immense is okayish, I guess. I haven't really played with it extensively. It seems like it's really good though. +6/+6 is a lot. Sago Archer is merely okay. So it's Loxodon for us. Alright. This is interesting. You could take a Dragon Scale Boom, which is great in Abzan decks because of Outlast abilities. Getting to grant Outlast abilities to a creature at instant speed is always nice. And there's a Kintry Warden, which is okayish too, because it's a morph and it's a warrior, and it regenerates, so it can block some fatties. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna take the Dragon Scale Bone here. It's a very good card. I guess I do need to be on the lookout for morph creatures here, because of the Ghostfire Blade, which is insane against them. Here we could take a Meandering Tower Shell. It's a funny card, but I feel like I'm gonna take a Savage Punch here, which is a card that I like better. It's less gimmicky than this guy. Just, you know, flat out works, and it's cheap to boot. And this thing plus this thing here is some good times. Your morphs become 4/4s, and then we can Savage Punch stuff with them. Alright, we could take this guy, but this guy's not a warrior. I mean, it's still a 2 mana 2/2. But here I'm gonna take the Kiln Tree Warden. I could take the Become Immense too, but the Kiln Tree Warden does everything we want here because it's a warrior and it has morph. And it can also activate, you know, my Skull Hunter on turn 2 if I need that. Alright, here I'm gonna take Naturalize for my sideboard, and alright, the Alpine Grizzly made it back, so I'm actually happy. Alright, another Dragon Scale Boom and a super late Teamwork Charm. Man, what is wrong with people? Could take this guy too, but I feel like this thing is just better. This looks insane if you have a big creature out, but lots of times you won't be able to kill much, to kill a lot of stuff with that, because they'll be attacking you. Right, a morph. That's cool. And I feel like the Dragon Scale Boom is just better at killing stuff out of nowhere. So, alright. Relical Mystic, huh? Now that's interesting. If I don't take this thing, I could take the Nomad Outpost, Timur Charger, but probably I would take the Abzan Guide. But I think I will take this thing here. Even though I'm not blue or red, it still accelerates my mana, and it is a morph. So I feel like that's important. I do hope I get to get an Abzan Guide though. Really love this card. One of my favorite commons. Lifelink is just so insane on a 4/4 common. So yeah, let's take the Mystic. Right, here I think our option is going to be the Jungle Hollow. If not that, oh no, the Abzan Charm, yeah, sorry Jungle Hollow. I hadn't seen the Abzan Charm. I thought it was a Timur Charm actually. Probably because it's close to a Timur Ascendancy. I mean, I really want the Jungle Hollow, but I cannot pass the Abzan Charm. There are other good cards here like the Bellowing Saddlebrute, and this thing, which isn't in our colors, but yeah, you just cannot argue with an Abzan Charm. Let's take it. And now you get to take a Jungle Hollow. Alright, that's fine. There's not much else here that I want anyway, so let's go ahead and take the Hollow. I do want a couple more warriors here to iron out my deck. A new Rush of Battle, another Rush of Battle would be fine too. Jeez, look at those red cards. Yeah, Skull Hunter is fine here. It's a warrior, it's an aggressive card. Okay, here our options are Sultai Scavenger, Woolly Loxodon, or Blossoming Sands, and I'm gonna take the Sands. This makes 4 lands here. Oh, there's a Cure Shot too, which is good. But like I was saying, this makes 4 lands for us, 4 dual lands for us, which is a nice number, I think, and we got them pretty, evened out here. Green white, black green, white black. Here our options would be another Woolly Loxodon, which is what I'm gonna take, or a Rite of the Serpent, which is a card that I don't really like. The question is, do we have a lot of removal? I don't think we do. We do have a couple Savage Punches, which might just be enough. But the thing is, the Rite of the Serpent is just not a very good card. It's way too expensive for what it does. It's only good if you're, if you've managed to put a lot of pressure on the battlefield in earlier turns. Generally, tapping 6 mana to deal with only one guy will not cut it in this format. Alright, Jesus Christ. Now look at the spec. Scout Barons, Heir of the Whites, and Absent Ascendancy. Alright, the Ascendancy for me, as much as I want the Heir of the Whites, which is one of the best warriors you can get for this archetype, Absent Ascendancy, there's just no way I can argue with that. Alright, I was talking about removal spell earlier, and now we get a perfectly fine one in Smite the Monstrous. The Krumar is nice too, but I would rather get a removal here. Another Riddle Loxodon, which we probably aren't gonna play. We could take us this Spat. I mean, 2 Loxodons is already pushing it a bit, I think. And even though I don't think I'm playing the Pat, I mean, we could with Gustfire Blade, right? With Lifelink, that's bound to be good. But I think I won't have space in my deck for that. So I'll just bring it in against more aggressive decks. Alright, Sago Archer, I'm probably not gonna play it either, but there isn't anything here that I wanna hate draft, so let's take the Archer. Alright, Longshot Scrad or Awaken the Bear. I think I'm gonna take the Squad. I mean, we do already have some better combat tricks than Awaken the Bear, I feel. Even though this thing is not one of the best outlasters, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I think I could hate draft the Leaping Master here, but nah, takes it as a spec. Alright, Sultai Scavenger made it back, which makes me extremely happy. Okay, so I'm actually happy with this deck. Let's see how it shapes up. Okay, so something weird has happened here to me, and that is, I don't actually have a lot of morphs. I have these 3 expensive morphs here. And we have a couple of other morphs, but they're all cheaper creatures, like the Kilntree Warden and the Red Occult Mystic. But that's not a problem, I guess. I mean, Ghostfire Blade is good with or without morphs, so I don't really see a problem with that. It's obviously like better with morphs, but it's not a requirement. We do have some morphs here out. So this is Spat or Behemoth, a couple Sago Archers, but I just don't think there's anything here that we want to take out to bring the morphs in. So let's leave it like this. So it's suggesting that we play more forests, likely because of the Woolly Loxodons. We shall see. So we can take out a couple of forests, I guess, to bring in Blossoming Sands and Jungle Hollow, and then we can take out a plains and a swamp to bring in Scout Barons and Scout Barons. So this means we have 7 white sources, 7 black sources, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green sources, which seems fine by me. Alright, so I actually do like this deck a lot. Let's hope we do well.